Start. Now, sir, the food minister says that food grains are being hoarded. Is this a complete exposition of the rise in food prices? We all know that the food position in Bangladesh is very unsatisfactory. It is also known from newspaper reports that rice is being smuggled into Bangladesh. This is not a new phenomenon but something that has come to light during the last 4 or 5 or 6 days. This too has been known to government for a pretty long time. It was also known to them that in spite of what they were doing, smuggling was increasing. Yet they slept over the whole affair and came before Parliament when it was going to adjourn. There may be some hoarding in the country, but I should like to ask the food minister to tell us whether this bill would provide the remedy that is needed. This bill cannot prevent anybody from smuggling rice into Bangladesh. It was said once that the rise is price of food grains was the result of hoarding. When prices are rising, people who hope to gain by the rise in prices may resort to more than one unsocial practice in order to secure some gain for themselves. But to think that these illegal practices are the only cause for the rise in prices is to make a serious mistake. Government should realize that their own policy is partly responsible for the rise in prices. They are indulging in deficit financing every year and then they come to us and talk about hoarders and the people who indulge in unsocial practices and so on. The government, from the Prime Minister downwards, have got into the habit of saying that the economic position of the country must be developed as rapidly as possible and that we must be prepared to make sacrifices at present for the benefit of future generations. Then we must recognize our own responsibility for what is happening at the present time, but there was no sign of that in the speech of the food minister. The purpose of his speech was that food prices were rising because of the existence of hoarders in the country. I hope, sir, nobody will be taken in by this statement. The parliament has been discussing the food situation for many years, and there are many members of this parliament whose memories are not so short as the food minister thinks. We know almost quite as much about the food situation as the himself does. Now, sir, granting that something has to be done to check the rise in prices even temporarily, what has the government done about food grain? Over.